Let's get some predictions for the election. Andrew Clennell, first to you. We've been saying that this could be a real litmus test in the COVID era for those governments, incumbents that basically run on a one-issue campaign.
Incumbents and states and territories that want to shut the borders, that want to go hard on the health response. And all the signals I get out of the Northern Territory and indeed out of Canberra tonight is that Labor are expected to win tonight. They might have a reduced majority, but they are hopeful that they can win a couple of seats back from the independents and the Country Alliance. So I would have thought out of the 25 seats, Labor are looking good for about 13 to 14 as opposed to 16. That's kind of where it looks like it's heading. CLP, they reckon they've had a good campaign. They're hopeful of a strong showing, but it would indeed be an upset if we were into minority government territory tonight. Having said that, everyone's pretty cautious. A Northern Territory Labor source just a short time ago said, look, we think we can hang on, we can win. It's now a question of majority or minority.
Jacinta Price, what's your sense of this? As we mentioned, the CLP have a mountain to climb, but I've got to say the opposition leaders performed really well from what I've seen of the campaign, certainly in the debate hosted by Matt Cunningham a couple of days ago.
Absolutely. Leah has performed very strongly throughout this campaign, and particularly so in the last couple of weeks. She's really come out swinging. And, you know, it'll be interesting. I think it is quite possible that Labor may be up there with a slim majority, but they have been campaigning, of course, on the one issue. Leah has outlined, you know, a number of policies and a number of sort of different ways forward. I think the one thing that that the Country Liberal Party and Territory Alliance share is the fact that they have a number of new faces to bring to the table for Territorians, and it'll be interesting to see how Territorians react to those new faces and whether they're going to put their faith in those hands.
Richo, what's your sense of this? Obviously, as we've said, the Gunner government starts with a big head start, but top-end politics can be unpredictable.
It can be, but Gunner's going to win. I think he'll probably win it reasonably well. I don't think, from what I've read and from friends I have up there, that there's that great phrase, mood for change. Can't see that there, so I suspect he'll get in. I'm not sure that he'll romp in, but I don't think he'll lose much either. I think people are reasonably happy with the Gunner government. As I said, there doesn't seem to be too many of them wanting to change. So my hunch is they won't, and Gunner will be returned.
OK, well, Matt Cunningham, that's confident Richo, but one of the other possible spanners in the works could be in Fanny Bay, the seat held by Michael Gunner. He's up against a very good candidate.
That's right. Tracy Hayes, who is a former chief executive of the Northern Territory Cattlemen's Association, is contesting that seat, a really high-profile candidate. Of course, she led the class action against the Gillard government's decision to ban live cattle exports in 2011. Of course, that is a decision that the federal court recently ruled in her favour. So she's had a lot of publicity in relation to that decision and her work there, working for the Northern Territory Cattlemen. I think, though, there is a bit of a contrast between representing the Northern Territory Cattlemen in regional areas and the seat in which she is standing, which is Fanny Bay. I'm in Fanny Bay now, here at the Gardens. We're right next to the beach and right next to the city, so it is a long way from the bush. Whether that will, whether her popularity in the bush will transpire to votes in the city remains to be seen. I think she'll take a little bit of skin off Michael Gunner in that seat, but he does hold it with a pretty healthy margin. I expect him to hold on there. One thing that will be a factor tonight, Kieran, will be the local member factor, basically. The seats are so small here in the Northern Territory that a local member can effectively get around and meet everyone in his electorate at least once, if not twice, during a 4-year term. Michael Gunner's been in Fanny Bay for 12 years now. He probably knows most of the people in his electorate by their first name, so I think that will work in his favour and make it difficult for Tracy Hayes to take that seat off him. That factor is going to be really interesting in a couple of other seats where a normal swing against the government might see Labor lose them, but if their local members have been working hard enough on the ground, then they might be able to hold on. Brennan, in particular, in Palmerston, will be an interesting one to watch there, whether Tony Sievers, the local member, is voted back in on personal popularity or whether the swing against the government sees that seat fall.